Welcome, everybody. We are now live, at least on Facebook, and I think maybe YouTube. I have a YouTube channel, and let's see, and Instagram. So maybe, yeah. And now I'm hearing myself feedback. Hold on. So I'm going to have to figure out how to not hear that. There we go. Thanks so much for being here. We have a nice group of people here. I'm so excited. This is like a little reunion for training that we just did, which is a Harmonium course for yoga teachers training. And that's kind of the reason that we're here to talk about this training and hear a little bit from some graduates of this recent training. My name is Seth Lieberman, and I'm a yoga teacher and a harmonium teacher, classically trained musician. I live in the Hudson Valley, upstate New York. And I've been studying music for about 30 years, teaching harmonium and yoga for 15 years, and teaching classes and courses all over the world, live and online. And this Harmonium for Yoga Teachers course is actually a live online course. And it's a 25-hour training. The next iteration of it begins in April. It's a 6-week course, April 2nd to May 10th, live online, live on Zoom, and video playback's available as well. So you can take it from anywhere in the world. And even if you can't make the live classes, there are students that take it. Like we had a student in Japan last course that wasn't able to attend most of the classes live. We have people in Europe and the United States. So it's really a course for yoga teachers that want to bring the harmonium sound, mantra, and meditation music into their classes. So I'm really excited to be here with 4 of our graduates and to get to hear a little bit from them about their experience. They're all yoga teachers. They all took the last training that we did in the fall, and now they're out there in the world spreading mantra music and harmonium playing and kirtan in their yoga classes and with their communities. So we're going to just share a little bit today about the program itself, about some other things we do in the courses that we do here. We have a whole variety of other things that go on throughout the year. We have membership for drop-in classes that happen every Thursday. That's a weekly drop-in class you can attend Thursdays at 11 a.m. New York time. We archive all the classes in a video library that you can have access to and watch whenever they're on demand. And then we run specialized courses throughout the year, like this Harmonium Teachers course. We have a Bhakti Yoga course that's actually currently running right now. That's live online. We do retreats throughout the world. New York City, we have one actually this weekend. We have a New York City weekend Harmonium and Kirtan training in May. We're doing a training in Berlin again at the end of July, in Greece, middle of July. So we travel. You can check all that out at sethyogamusic.com if you just want to see the schedule of upcoming classes. And without further ado, I want to introduce some of our friends here that are going to just share a little bit about themselves, about how they came to the course and where they are, where they teach yoga, and what they've taken from this particular course that we just completed. I will mention it's also a 25-hour training. If you're a yoga teacher and you're looking for continuing education credits, you get 25 hours of continuing education credits in this course as well. So I think that's good. Oh, and one more thing I'll mention up front is that we have an early bird discount on the course. Save $200 when you sign up by February 20th, which is on Monday. And I'm getting used to this new software. This is super fun for me. I can put a banner up there. Let's see. Boom. Look at that. Right at the bottom there. Very fancy, right? Oh, getting applause. Thank you. I have other banners lined up. So anyway, we have such a beautiful group of people here all over the world right now. Actually, mostly in the East Coast, West Coast, and other tropical islands. So now we'll just introduce them, and you can introduce yourselves. Give a quick little hello. Tell us where you're from, what your yoga teaching life is like right now, and maybe something that you would want someone that's considering taking this course, this yoga teachers course, to know about it. The different components. I didn't mention that there's 3 components. I'll just mention that really quickly before you introduce yourselves. But this course focuses on harmonium and kirtan, on playing live music during yoga asana, like shavasana, sun salutations, other restorative postures, and then bringing it all together. So integrating all those different components into practical teaching, which we do in the courses as well. So I would love to hear from I might just kind of go in order of my screen here, if you don't mind, and just give a quick intro and let us know about yourself and something that you took from the course that maybe you'd want someone to know that's watching, and is considering taking this class. And I got Ferdy right next to me first. Lovely Ferdy, who has been studying with us for like many, many years now. You want to give yourself a little introduction, Ferdy? And yeah, welcome.
Thank you, Seth. Haribol, and nice to see you, Jen, and Glow, and Bashak as well. It does feel like a very sweet reunion for me right now. So I'm glad that we could all get together. I am live streaming from San Diego, sunny San Diego, California, where I've been now for, gosh, 4 years. But I started my harmonium journey with Seth in Brooklyn. So I was able to have some live classes with him, but most of my studies with Seth have been online, which is a huge, which has been huge for me, because it had this not been available online, I really don't know if I would have been able to study harmonium in the way that I have been able to study it. My yoga journey started over 25 years ago. My very first class was a bhakti class. And I remember sitting in that class and watching my teacher at the time play the harmonium and chant a beautiful mantra at the end of class. And I thought to myself, that will be a goal of mine one day. And then fast forward to about 10, 15 years, my bhakti practice really started to evolve after a trip to India and with my asana teacher in Seattle. And it was after that India trip that several of us went to a kirtan in Seattle, and that was my very first introduction to kirtan in that type of an environment with that type of community, and it just stuck with me. And so it really was because of that my harmonium interest really started to peak. And then when I moved to Brooklyn several years later, I was on a hunt to find someone, and was very, very fortunate to find Seth online, and started to practice with him in a few in-person classes. And then just really, when I moved to San Diego, just stayed devoted and committed to my practice, and very much have appreciated the style and the knowledge and the wisdom that Seth provides to not only me, but to all of the students, which has allowed me to take my practice to where I am today. I teach at the Chula Vista Yoga Center here in San Diego. I teach a Bhakti Flow class on Friday nights. And it's through the Harmonium Course for Yoga Teachers that I was really able to introduce the harmonium in the way that I do today. I also help lead kirtan once a month at the Yoga Lab in Chula Vista with fellow kirtaniyas. And what's been so lovely about that as well is to be able to take the knowledge that I took from that yoga teacher course and to be able to apply it as well into a kirtan setting. There's so much that I've learned about the harmonium and how it applies to teaching yoga. So it's hard for me just to really pinpoint one specific thing. What I will say is there is definitely a lot more confidence that I've been able to build through this experience and through teaching with like-minded teachers in this course. We all learn from one another, and it's through that putting yourself in difficult situations, even in an online setting where you're actually being challenged to sing and play the harmonium in front of others, really helped build that confidence for me. And then I will also say one more thing, that playing the harmonium for me has always been a simple Om at the very beginning of class before the yoga teacher course. And what I've now been able to do is to be able to take mantra and to be able to not only move from Om and into a mantra and then help lead kirtan with the students, but what I most appreciate about the course was being able to really combine playing the harmonium and mantra while actually teaching asana at the same time. And that was never something that I thought would be in my wheelhouse, but it's because of what I've learned and the practice that I've had through Seth and the other students that I feel somewhat skilled to be able to lead that now with the student. So it's been a wonderful journey, and I am so happy that it's being offered again, and I'm happy that I can actually take it again as well, because I believe that we must always be students and always be curious about what we do in life and certainly in our practice. And so I'm looking forward to learning more and to really being able to expand my harmonium skills in many other ways with the community that I support, and specifically with the students that I attend my course. So very, very, very happy that I'm able to participate once again. Haribol, everyone.
Thank you, Ferdy. Thank you so much. Yeah, it's really nice just hearing that also, because it's reminding me of like the whole experience of the course, and like how many different kind of skill sets we go through. You know, I think a lot of harmonium trainings right now are probably just more focused on kirtan, but this training also really brings in musicality, musical sensitivity, how you give instructions while you're teaching, how you can integrate playing and then giving instructions and then playing again, and how you can weave together like a lot of components of a yoga class, stitching in sound at the beginning and the end, but also some places in the middle. So it sounds like you're doing that, and that's really wonderful. Such a benefit to your students, and I'm really glad you're with us, and you'll be back again. Thank you. Thanks, Ferdy. Jen Hunt, do you want to introduce yourself? And yeah,
Sure.
tell us a little about yourself and your harmonium and yoga journey.
Actually, kind of two parallel journeys for a while, but I'm Jen Hunt, and I'm coming to you live from northern New Jersey. And I've been a student of yoga for, let me say 20 years now, probably for a good long while. And I did my yoga teacher training way back, and it's amazing how fast time goes, in 2011. And I was teaching pretty regularly for many years, but I actually kind of, allowed myself to get derailed during COVID. I stopped teaching completely, and here we are, past that time, and I still hadn't really started again. So that's kind of one path, right? The other path is kind of my love for harmonium and kirtan, and like Ferdy, a trip to India really inspired me to kind of, want to learn more about the harmonium and play the harmonium, which kind of seemed crazy because I didn't have any musical background at all coming into this. But, kind of long story short, I found myself a harmonium. I started trying to teach myself harmonium. It was kind of on again, off again. I'd get into it for a while. I'd get bored with online videos. And I discovered Seth through actually the Wisdom of the Sages Bhakti Yoga podcast, and kind of got introduced into his online style of teaching, which was phenomenal. So, I was hooked a couple of years ago with Seth and started learning how to play mantra and lead kirtan, a couple of years ago on my harmonium. And, just, that the live online classes and connecting with a community of people that we've also met up in real life too, not only at kind of Seth's different retreats and Seth's different kind of in-person trainings, but there are a number of us, including Ferdy. I actually was in San Diego to visit Ferdy, that we've met up in person, and that's just been a wonderful experience. So those are my two parallel paths. But what I will say about the Harmonium course for yoga teachers is it really kind of starts to bring those paths together. I was very interested in resuming my yoga teacher training. Very much so. And, through this class and through what I've learned, I will say probably the most important takeaway I got from the class was just the kind of the mood to approach bringing my harmonium into a class. Maybe a little bit different than the mood I might feel if I'm playing, here in my, attic on my own or for friends, but kind of the mood to approach that with. And currently now, I am bringing my harmonium and live chanting into a Sunday morning class every week at Satsang Yoga in Westfield, New Jersey. My good friend Andrea owns the studio and leads that class, and we've started making it a regular part of the practice to end the class and close the class with different mantras and chants. And it's really been a wonderful experience. And I feel that the students have received the harmonium quite well and are really enjoying the experience. And it's an opportunity to introduce folks to Bhakti and to start to introduce different chants and, maybe move into kind of a kirtan phase at some point in time. But that's really great. And I will say also, too, that as I start subbing yoga classes again at the same studio, that having kind of the harmonium and kind of sound vibration in my toolkit as a teacher is giving me a different voice to come into this next phase of my teaching with, which I think is really important. So I'm very much looking forward to that. And I will credit Seth, my wonderful online and real-time, real-life harmonium teacher, with helping me to gain the skills and the motivation and kind of the context to keep me so motivated and so excited about learning all aspects of harmonium and yoga, harmonium for kirtan. I just want to add, Seth, and I know this is a little longer than a quick introduction, but it's so
All
important.
good.
I was a little skeptical initially about online training, but Seth is a master of, as you can tell from this live stream platform, of using technology for teaching. And he has, I call it the keyboard cam. He actually has different camera angles when we're online to show exactly what he's doing. And it really supports the learning and the lesson. And in some ways, it's when you're in person, you don't get that kind of an angle and that kind of a view and that kind of a insight into what's actually going on in the keyboard. So it's wonderful. And I've really enjoyed it, and I am completely sold that an online course is a wonderful approach to build a community and to teach harmonium to people, like Seth says, all over the world.
Thank you, Jen Hunt. That's so beautiful. Yeah, this is nice. I wasn't quite sure when this is kind of the first time we've done something quite like this, and it's just really nice to hear everyone's stories. And even though I've heard some of them before, just to be reminded of what you're doing here and how you got here and how you're benefiting from these online platform. I'm constantly amazed. I've been now teaching these courses for really the pandemic was when I just like shifted and focused really on online classes. I was doing it before. I was teaching on Skype back when Skype was cool. But the pandemic really made me think about how I could use this online learning. And in like every course I don't know how many courses I've done since 2020 or 2021, maybe somewhere between 10 and 15, I think. But I'm always amazed by the actual community that gets created, like, and the sense of togetherness that you find in these trainings. You really do feel like you're a part of a community that's not easy to find for most people. Like most people don't have a harmonium class that's like right down their street. Some people might have to drive an hour or 2 hours or get in a plane to get this kind of education. So I think the online platform, it has its drawbacks a little bit, but actually has a lot of advantages too. So thank you for sharing that, Jen. I'm really grateful for you and your participation in this community. Jen and Ferdy, they're both longtime, very active members and supporters of this community. And yeah, I'm so appreciative to both of you. So thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Glow. All the way in somewhere in New York City.
Yeah, well, I'm in Ridgewood now.
Okay. Ridgewood, Queens, right?
Yes, Ridgewood. I was in
Yeah.
Bushwick before, but I just popped
That's where
over
I
the border.
was. I was in Bushwick 10 years.
Yeah.
So
I'm glad.
welcome.
Thank you. Yeah, I teach yoga in Ridgewood and Bushwick at Daya. And I took Harmonium course for yoga teachers with Seth, and also like a in-person training at the Bhakti Center. And yeah, I definitely want to echo what Jen said about online actually being like great. Especially with like harmonium. Like, first of all, it's so niche. You're not gonna find like a harmonium course. I don't know. Maybe you can around you, but that's difficult if you don't like live in the city or something. And I also felt like when like courses in person, there's like 10 people in a room all playing harmoniums simultaneously, and you just can't hear anything when you're all like doing your own thing. I mean, you can a little bit, but it's not the same. But I thought, yeah, with online, like Seth could just be like explaining, talking about something, and we can all be muted, just like trying it out, like as he speaks, which is like just so helpful. Because I feel like if you're like, oh yeah, I'll come back to that later, you're probably gonna forget. And I felt like I learned so much, and it was always like very engaging, even though Zoom kind of sucks. And like it was honestly like really great. So definitely, like, if people are like have hesitations about online, I definitely don't think that's like a huge worry. And even though this course was online, still like a community formed from it. Like a bunch of the people that were like local to New York, we all met up. Yeah, someone hosted, Lucy hosted like a meetup, and I think, yeah, that was like my first time meeting people in person. But I felt like I'd already met them, because I guess I had online.
And you had just started teaching yoga, and then and you were able to integrate bringing in the harmonium, chanting, and playing during classes, like during the course, right?
Yeah, I did it a few times. I think I haven't been doing it more recently, mostly because I hurt my back. So like lugging a harmonium around is a bit difficult. But yeah, I'm definitely like wanting to like start bringing it back in again soon. But I definitely feel like confident too after like so much practice during the course. Like I'm not like worried about how I sound or something like that. I think, yeah, I felt like when you were talking, I felt like you had said something about like kind of like leading kirtan is like, that's like you're like serving, and it's not really like about it's not a performance. So I think that kind of like mindset really helps me be like, oh, I'm not like worried, like obviously I want to feel good about it, but I'm not like, oh, I need to like have a perfect voice or flawless bellowing to like be able to play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful. That is a good reminder. Thank you. And yeah, it was wonderful to see you come to class too, and be still relatively new to teaching, and then just kind of take a chance and go into class and start playing. And it was always great hearing your feedback and the experiences you were having. Just by you're right, you do have to just practice doing something over and over again. And I think when you take a course and then you meet every week and everyone's doing the same thing, we check in regularly, and we give updates. How was your practice this past week? Did you bring this instrument into class? And sometimes you're saying out loud, I really would like to, and then you get encouragement from other people, and then you can report back next class. So there's something about accountability and about meeting with a group weekly it's not just like the information that you're getting every class. It's not just about downloading information, but it's about feeling like you're part of community. You are actually a part of a community, sharing your experiences with each other, and then encouraging each other to try it out. And sometimes you get inspired. Someone else says, oh, I did this in a class. Like I played during Shavasana. It was the first time I ever did it. I was really nervous, but I tried it and it went really well. And people came up to me after class. And someone else hearing that in the same class might be inspired to just try and do it. I mean, it's amazing to me that people are, sometimes they just need kind of the permission to try and to do these things. Like anybody could just play that, like Om on the harmonium can just play, but maybe they wouldn't think to play while people are resting, you know, just drone a few chords. So a lot of times it's just getting some encouragement and the invitation to start doing something in class, and then having the accountability of the group of people you're with every week. So yeah, thank you for sharing, Glow.
Yeah, of course.
Bashek, you've moved locations. Are you with us? Can you hear us?
I had to move. I am in a Wi-Fi. Yeah, I am
Oh,
in a
okay, you had a
Wi-Fi
Wi-Fi issue.
situation. I'm in Turks and Caicos.
Okay, but we can hear.
So
I can hear
hopefully
you
you can
fine.
hear me
If
now.
you want to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit. Yeah.
Okay, great. Yes. Sure, I am Başak and I am originally located in New York City. Right now I'm in Turks and Caicos. I'm a yoga teacher, therapist, life coach, and an engineer of all things. I have been wanting to learn harmonium since I've been visiting India last couple of years. But until I found Seth, it never materialized. And once I found this course, it was just life-changing for me. This course is literally heart-opening, soul-revealing, a confidence-building, and community-creating journey. For someone like me who has zero background in music, similar to Jan, just after the course, I was able to play harmonium, chant in every class that I do, and completely see the transformation of the space. So it's been just an incredible, incredible experience for me. What can I tell about Kirtan, right? There's so much to talk about Kirtan, but specifically about this course, I want to talk about this whole confidence aspect of it. You know, it really is a journey towards yourself to be able to be that vulnerable for opening your mouth and really singing. It's just not, it's a rare journey. It's really, to me, it's been life-changing in many aspects. Because as you do that in class, you realize how you are being held in a container that is, you literally feel the your ancestors, your teachers, their teachers, and their teachers, and the influence of them through sound. So it's been very special for me, and I highly suggest to everyone. And I hope you can hear me because I cannot hear you guys.
We can. Okay, we hear you.
Okay, good.
Thank you, Bashak. Thanks
Okay.
for sharing that. Yeah, and you were also in
So
in-person
welcome.
training too at the Bhakti Center. You were, I think we met live in New York City as well. So it's great to have you both in a
Yeah,
hybrid.
we met live
like,
and on
yeah.
Zoom, and hybrid, and I totally agree with Glow how much greater was to do it in Zoom. It gave you so much more space, and the fact that it was in several weeks, it allowed you to practice and take the harmonium to class and have some tumblings and come back and discuss and find a better way. It's been just incredible.
Yeah, thank you. Well, thank you, everybody. This has definitely went a little longer than we anticipated, but that's fine. I mean, I'm happy to do this. It's really sweet. I didn't reach out to the people watching, but because this is a live stream, there are people that have been following us and some comments as well. So thank you. And if you're watching and you just want more information, want to learn more about this course, you can go to my website, SethYogaMusic.com. Pretty easy, SethYogaMusic.com. You can find a registration link. There's a early bird discount that is good until just 5 more days, till Monday, February 20th, if you're interested in this particular course. This particular course starts in April. That's 6 weeks, 6 consecutive weeks, twice a week, live on Zoom. You get chant sheets. You get to download them, and you get audio recordings. You can watch back the video right after class. You can download the video from class, have it for a lifetime. There's what else is part of the course? Well, there's certainly the meetings themselves. And then if you are interested in the certification aspect of it, because it is for continuing education credits, or even if you're not and you just want the full experience, we do have like a final, which is we get to each share for each other, sing for each other, lead each other through a practice, a meditation practice, a movement practice of some kind. And it's a chance to test out what you've been learning, but also integrate your understanding. It's really a fun program. I don't know what to say. I'm really excited about doing this again. I got so much from it. I also, one last piece of it, which is personal, which is I get to share like what I love about music within it. So there is some music theory-esque sort of conversations that we have, but also how to improvise, creativity, creative improvisation with music. So there's this whole element to it that has to do with just music itself, and of course how that relates to spirituality and everything. So it really ties in a lot of different elements, and I'm very excited. I hope if you're interested, you'll consider checking out the link or reach out to me, Seth at SethYogaMusic.com. You can send me a message if you have questions, or on Instagram or Facebook or YouTube or wherever you're watching this. Feel free to reach out. And also check out the other programs that are going on. There are programs in New York City, Greece, Berlin, and upstate New York, and of course online courses which you can take from anywhere in the world. Just want to thank everybody for being here again. Thank you, Ferdy, Jen, Bashak, Glow. I like doing this. I don't think I need the excuse of having a course, but it would be fun. I'm inspired by doing this to just get together and talk about, almost have like a Harmonium and Kirtan podcast or something where we get together regularly and talk about these things and share these experiences. I don't think it's very niche in a sense. There's not anything quite like this. So it would be fun. So perhaps we'll do this again soon. What do you think? Sounds good?
I think it's a great idea.
All right. It would be fun. Well, thanks again, everybody, and have a wonderful rest of your day, evening, and hope to see you in class soon.
Bye,
Take
everyone.
care, everybody.